So you're going to Europe and you're looking for some tips. Well, I'm just the man to talk to. So the first thing you're going to want to know is this will not work in Europe. You cannot plug your phone, your laptop, your tablet, your anything, your e-reader, whatever. You can't plug this in Europe. They do not burn fossil fuels in Europe. They don't believe in it. They're very green over there. Every room that you go to, so you're going to stay in a hotel room that's going to have a hamster cage with a wheel. There's going to be a hamster inside the wheel, and he's jogging and he's working his butt off. And because of this, the DC current is a little different than it is here. So the plug that you plug your phones and things like that into isn't the same as it is here, so you're going to have to buy an adapter. That's the first thing. Chips are French fries, not potato chips. So if you go somewhere and you ask for chips, you're going to get French fries. They basically beer batter and fry everything. So it'll be just like being in the South all over again, only the batter's a little bit different. Cookies are called crisps, not cookies. And tea is basically everything. You know how we call every soft drink Coke in the South? Well, they call tea everything. So if you go into a place and you order a drink, you have to say, "Can I have a diet tea?" You know, and they're like, "Of what variety?" And you're like, "Dr. Pepper." They speak English, but it's not the kind of English that we speak. We speak American English. They speak European English, and depending on where you're at, you may or may not be able to understand what they're saying. Like, if you're in Scotland or Ireland, it's going to sound something like, "What you doing there? It's going to sound something like that. If you go to England, it might sound something like, "What's the old boat now, Dad? Let's take a boat, and either way, you can't understand what they're saying. The only place you might really be able to understand what they're saying is if you're in like Australia or, you know, Nova Scotia or Canada. And I'm sure people are saying things like, "Paige, how are you going to keep yourself safe? Aren't you worried about attackers? Maybe you should bring a rape whistle, or maybe you should bring a thing of mace, or, you know, maybe you should bring a weapon of some sort." You don't have to worry about any of this. There's an old tried and true method to keep things like this from happening. It's something that Richard Pryor used to do back when he would go to prison. Just don't use toilet paper the whole time you're there. You'll have this smell that follows you around, but if you go to France, you'll just smell like everybody else does anyways. So nobody will notice until, you know, it's too late, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, not her. She's just a filthy American. She doesn't know how to use freaking toilet paper." So yeah, don't use toilet paper the whole time you're there, and you won't have to worry about being attacked. That is probably the best advice I can give you in this video. If you want to cook anything when you're there, you're probably not going to be able to, because they use something called the metric system. Like if you go to McDonald's and order a quarter pounder, they're going to give you a Royale with cheese, which... So, you know, if you want to bake a cake and it calls for, you know, a cup of flour and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, that doesn't even equate in the metric system. I don't even know what the metric system freaking is. Some kind of system of measurement that doesn't make any sense. I mean, how do you measure the amount of flour you put in something in kilometers? I'm going to put 3 kilometers of flour in my cake. Freaking British people. That's pretty much it. Everything else is about the same, except for the music. They get their music way later than we do. So they got Nirvana last week. So I wouldn't mention what happens to Kurt Cobain, because everyone will be totally freaking crushed when they find out that he's going to kill himself in 1994. There are a few songs that definitely need to be in your playlist if you want to be able to fit in and be what would be considered cool in Europe.
I'm only happy when it rains. Feel good when things are going wrong. I only listen to the sound. Forget it, I don't understand how the lost card is played, but somehow the vital connection is made.
One of the things that might be a little hard to get used to is that they speak in questions, especially in like Britain, you know. Things like, "What kind of sauce you want on your Saturday, do you?" Or, "It's time to be going to bed then, isn't it?" Or, "We're on around the old time now, aren't we?" I could have been in the Beatles. But above all else, before you leave, you have to watch the film Taken with Liam Neeson. I cannot stress this enough. Not that I'm trying to talk you out of going, but if you watch it as a serious film, you'll probably not want to go when it's over. There's nothing bad. I think it's PG-13. So, watch the film Taken, eat some crumpets and some chips and some crisps and some fish, and bring an adapter and listen to 90s British music, and don't wipe your butt the whole time you're there. Okay, talk to you later. Love you. Bye.